Thousands of older men are quietly suffering from a decline in their manhood, unaware that neglecting one crucial aspect of their life can drain their energy, memory, and even their joy. Are you making this mistake? Welcome to my channel, where we'll explore some rarely discussed truths about men's health in older age. If you're a man over 60 and you've experienced this feeling, you've noticed that intimacy no longer feels the way it used to. Your little guy has become less sensitive, or your desire has quietly faded without you even realizing. I know that feeling, and I know you might think it's just an inevitable part of aging. But I'm here to tell you a truth that might shock you. What's happening to your manhood isn't simply a sign of aging. It's a silent warning, a cry for help from your own body. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping older men like you regain their strength, sensation, and confidence without medication or empty promises. Throughout my career, I've sat across from hundreds, thousands of men, strong men, wise men, men who built families, careers, and legacies. Yet when they talk about what's happening to their bodies after 60, they look down, lower their voices, and say the same quiet phrase, "I think something's wrong down there, doctor." They blame themselves for their age, for stress, for past mistakes. But the truth is, most of them are wrong, and not in the way they think. What's happening to their manhood isn't a failure. It's not the end. It's a signal, a warning light. And if you listen to it, it can become the beginning of something powerful. You see, when erections fade, when sensation grows dull, when the body starts to feel distant, it's not because you're broken. It's because your blood isn't flowing the way it used to. It's because inflammation has crept into your pelvic tissues. Your prostate has swollen just enough to press against the nerves that matter. And your body is slowly shutting down the very systems that once gave you confidence, connection, and pleasure. What I'm about to share with you today might sound unusual. We're going to talk about two ingredients, probably hiding in your kitchen right now: castor oil and baking soda. I know, sounds strange, right? But that's exactly why you need to listen closely. Because this blend doesn't just sit on the skin, it goes deep. It helps reverse 7 of the most overlooked root causes of decline in men over 60. It restores blood flow, it softens hardened tissue, it calms inflammation, and it reconnects you to a part of yourself you may have thought was lost. Before we dive in, make sure you've subscribed to my channel and turned on the bell so you never miss another natural remedy or breakthrough health tip designed specifically for men over 60. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. I'm here to learn, grow, and serve you better every time. Let's begin now. Let's begin with something most men over 60 never hear, but absolutely need to understand. Because before any healing can happen, you have to know the real reason your erections are weaker, your sensitivity is fading, and your energy feels drained. And no, I repeat, it's not just age. That's far too simple and dangerously misleading. What's actually happening inside your body is far more specific and far more hopeful.
Consequence 1. Erectile dysfunction, ED, the use it or lose it system. This is a fundamental rule of biology that many men overlook: use it or lose it. When you stop maintaining sexual activity or masturbation, your body starts to deprioritize those functions. The tiny blood vessels in your penis, which need regular blood flow to maintain their elasticity and flexibility, will gradually harden. Imagine these blood vessels like old water pipes. Without regular flow, they'll start to accumulate sediment, rust, and narrow. Similarly, a lack of regular stimulation and blood circulation can lead to fibrosis, causing tissues to become less elastic and significantly reducing erectile function. I recall a patient named Mr. Arthur, 65 years old, a former engineer. He came to me with a resigned look saying, "Doctor, I've accepted that part of life is for youth. Now I just want to be healthy." But when I probed deeper, he admitted that losing his erectile ability had greatly impacted his self-confidence and even his relationship. Arthur had completely stopped all sexual activity for nearly 5 years, believing it was inevitable. His blood vessels had begun to harden and the tissues had lost their elasticity. He kept thinking it was due to losing the ability, but in reality it was due to lack of use. Consequence 2. Hormone decline, especially testosterone. Testosterone isn't just a sex hormone. It's central to overall male health. It affects your energy levels, muscle mass, bone density, mood, and even cardiovascular health. When sexual activity declines, your body receives fewer signals to produce testosterone. This is a natural mechanism. If demand decreases, supply also decreases. Consider Mr. Benjamin, 68 years old, a former active amateur athlete. In recent years, he began to feel chronic fatigue, his muscles atrophied despite still exercising, and a profound lethargy and lack of interest pervaded his life. His blood tests showed extremely low testosterone levels. Benjamin had completely ceased all sexual activity after his wife passed away, believing his sex life was over. His body responded to the lack of stimulation by reducing testosterone production, leading to a cascade of negative symptoms, not just in terms of libido, but also in his quality of life. He felt like he was losing himself. Consequence 3. Prostate and urinary function issues. Your prostate, a small but vital gland located beneath the bladder, plays a role in producing part of the fluid in semen. When regular ejaculation is absent, fluid in the prostate can become stagnant. This stagnation not only creates a favorable environment for bacterial growth, leading to prostatitis, but can also cause a buildup of waste products and increase pressure within the gland. I had another patient, Mr. Charles, 72 years old. He complained of waking up to urinate 3 to 4 times every night, a weak stream, and persistent discomfort in his pelvic area. He had seen many doctors but couldn't find a clear cause. After talking, I realized Charles hadn't maintained any sexual activity for nearly a decade. The stagnation in his prostate had caused chronic low-grade inflammation, leading to uncomfortable urinary symptoms and even dull aches. In some rare cases, a lack of regular fluid release can also increase the risk of developing more serious prostate issues.
These consequences aren't sudden. They accumulate gradually, silently, like sediment in a pipe, until you notice a significant difference. But the good news is that all of this can be addressed naturally, safely, and without shame. We've just delved into the physical consequences of neglecting sexual health. But the story doesn't end there. What I'm about to share with you is even more crucial, as it touches the very core of your heart, your mind, and your daily quality of life. These impacts are often overlooked, and you might never have thought they were connected to such a sensitive topic. Consequence 4. Cognitive decline and brain fog. Did you know that sexual activity, including masturbation, can be an excellent workout for your brain? When you reach orgasm, your brain releases a cascade of vital neurotransmitters like dopamine, the pleasure and motivation hormone, serotonin, mood and sleep regulation, and oxytocin, the love and bonding hormone. These substances don't just provide pleasant sensations, they are essential for cognitive function, memory, and concentration. Simultaneously, this process helps reduce cortisol, the stress hormone. Consider Mr. David, 70 years old, a retired teacher, who once prided himself on his sharp intellect.
Recently, he started noticing he was forgetting things, struggling to focus while reading, and sometimes felt like a fog enveloped his mind every morning. He had stopped all sexual activity years ago, believing it didn't matter anymore at his age. But it was precisely this lack of stimulation that prevented his brain from being fully activated, leading to a gradual decline in cognitive function and an indescribable feeling of emptiness. Consequence 5. Depression and emotional numbness. For many, masturbation isn't just a physical act. It's also a natural stress relief mechanism, a way to connect with oneself and release pent-up pressures. It brings a sense of peace, relaxation, and even happiness. When this natural release valve is missing, emotions can become suppressed, leading to a state of emotional numbness. You might not feel distinctly sad, but you also no longer feel joy, no longer have interest in things you once loved. This was the case for Mr. Edward, 75 years old, a widower for over 10 years. After his wife passed, he completely ceased all intimate activity. He lived alone, but it wasn't the physical solitude that was most frightening, but the emotional one. He found life meaningless, devoid of joy, and lacking motivation for anything. Edward didn't think he was depressed, but he was suffering from emotional numbness, a direct consequence of the missing natural release mechanism that sexual activity can provide. Consequence 6. Poor sleep quality and overall impact. One of the lesser-known benefits of sexual activity is its ability to improve sleep. When you reach orgasm, your body releases sleep-inducing hormones like oxytocin and prolactin, while simultaneously reducing cortisol, the stress hormone, making it easier to fall into a deep, restful sleep. Mr. Frank, 69 years old, had been struggling with insomnia for months. He tried various sleep aids with no success. He had no clear underlying medical conditions, but his quality of life was severely affected. He was tired, irritable, and had difficulty concentrating. When I asked about his sex life, he shyly admitted he had retired from it long ago. It was precisely the lack of post-orgasm hormone release that disrupted his sleep cycle, leading to chronic insomnia and severely impacting his overall physical and mental health. Consequence 7. Loss of bodily autonomy and self-worth. This is perhaps the most heartbreaking consequence, one that is rarely discussed. When your body no longer responds the way you desire, when you feel alienated from your own most intimate parts, it can lead to a profound disconnect between mind and body. You begin to doubt your self-worth, feel less attractive, and even disappear in your own eyes and in the eyes of others. This self-doubt can erode confidence, motivation, and cause you to avoid social interactions. I remember Mr. George, 79 years old, a man who was once very confident and outgoing. After years of losing interest in that side of things and other health issues, he started avoiding looking in the mirror. He felt alien to his own body, as if it was no longer the Mr. George he used to know. He said, "I don't want to feel invisible." It was this loss of bodily autonomy that made him feel like he had lost a significant part of himself. These consequences are often not directly linked to neglecting sexual health, and that's the secret many men are suffering from in silence. But don't worry, because all of this can be improved. We have walked through 7 powerful truths that most men over 60 will never hear. Truths about your body, your blood flow, your energy, and your worth. We talked about why your manhood isn't failing, but rather sending a signal. We've explored how castor oil and baking soda can restore what aging tries to take. And you've seen how your own hands, the food you eat, and even your beliefs hold the power to bring you back to life. So, in summary, issues like erectile dysfunction, testosterone decline, prostate problems, cognitive decline, depression, insomnia, and the feeling of losing oneself are not destiny. They're not inevitable consequences of aging. Instead, they are your body's responses to a lack of stimulation, stagnation, and quiet neglect. The core message here is you are not broken. You are waiting. And it is never too late to start this healing journey. So what is the solution? I call it the golden protocol for natural restoration. It's not complex, it's not pressured, and it's completely within your reach. Here's how you can turn this knowledge into action. Step 1. The castor oil and baking soda blend. Start with a clean space and a calm moment. No rushing, no distractions. This isn't just about applying something. It's about reconnecting with a part of yourself you may have ignored for too long.
Take 1 tablespoon of organic castor oil and mix it with a small pinch, about half a teaspoon, of baking soda. Stir until smooth. Then gently warm the mixture in your hands or place the bowl in warm water for a few minutes. The goal is comfort, not heat. Now apply it slowly over your lower abdomen, groin crease, and inner thighs. These are the power lines that feed blood into your manhood. Use circular motions, gentle pressure. Don't scrub, don't rush. This is not about force, it's about signal. You're telling your body, wake up, you're safe, you're needed. Some men place a warm towel over the area for 20 to 30 minutes, allowing the blend to penetrate even deeper. Others lie still, breathe, and just listen to their bodies. However you do it with care. And the most important part, repeat it at least 3 times a week. Healing doesn't come in a day, but it does come. Step 2. Activating pressure points. While applying the blend, incorporate the activation of 3 simple pressure points that I've guided many of my patients to use. The first point, at the base of your wrist, right in the soft hollow between 2 tendons. Press gently for 60 seconds. It calms the heart, opens blood vessels, and shifts your nervous system from stress to restoration. The second point, on the inner thigh, about 4 fingers up from the crease of your groin. Pressing here supports lymphatic flow and boosts circulation to the pelvic region. The third point, found between your big toe and second toe, where they meet. In ancient medicine, this point is known for restoring energy, blood flow, and even testosterone balance. Step 3. Supportive foods and mindset. After completing this ritual, what you eat can seal in the results. Fuel your body with the best. A glass of beet juice, rich in nitric oxide for blood flow. A hard-boiled egg or half an avocado for healthy fats and hormones. A bowl of steamed spinach with olive oil and garlic, one of the best natural artery softeners. A square of dark chocolate, rich in flavonoids to stimulate nitric oxide. And finally, the most crucial element, your belief. Your body responds to the signals you give it. When you treat yourself like a burden, you shrink. But when you show yourself care, even just a few quiet minutes a day, something powerful reawakens. I've shared all of this not just as a doctor, but as someone who sat with men who thought it was over until they realized it wasn't. You still have time. You still have strength. You still matter. Now it's your turn. Turn this knowledge into action. Start tonight, because the real medicine isn't just in the oil or the baking soda. It's in the ritual, the consistency, and the quiet decision to believe in yourself again. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of something you never lost, just forgot how to feel. Please like this video, share it with the men you know who need to hear this message, and comment below on how you'll start your journey of restoration. Together, let's build a community where shame disappears and vitality reemerges.